Alright, hello everyone and welcome to this match of Castlevania 1. We'll have two pretty good runners here between Cronin and Xytoriak. Both are pretty experienced Castlevania 1 runners. Cronin has an 1144 PB while Xytoriak has an 1154, so it should be a pretty close match overall.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to consistency here.
Yep, it's going to come down to a lot of small tricks that add up over the run, given the closeness of the run. As I mentioned, this is probably maybe the race that decides who gets to advance from Group B, because they'll be dealing with SPD Wolf later on in this tournament. Probably one of the best Castlevania runners, so they'll want to get an edge over their opponent. Pick up a win here, and so that way they don't have to beat SPD Wolf to advance, type thing.
That'll be a tough situation to be in.
So it looks like both runners are getting ready to start.
Yep, looks like we're about to get underway.
So both runners will be going with a... Timers will be from control as opposed to the start, and it looks like Cronin forgot to reset his game, so he's going to get demo audio instead. So we'll switch over to Xytoriak's audio.
Alright, we got that.
Cronin's audio should return when he gets to the bat, so kind of the beginning of this game, both runners are not intentionally looking for the stopwatch, but it would certainly help for them to find it. Neither runner has the stopwatch trick in their run, but they will try to get a stopwatch before leaving stage 1.
And no early stopwatches for either of them.
Yeah, Cronin takes a hit on
stopwatch.
Cronin takes a hit on the stairs, so he's going to lose about 0.3 seconds. So that's a trivial amount of time in this overall race.
Mm-hmm.
Both runners going for the backup stopwatch pixel. Both of them get it. Cronin gets a holy water, so the item counter counted 1 ahead of normal. But Cronin does get the bat boost. Xytoriak gets it on second try. So missing the bat boost is roughly about 7 seconds, but there's a lot of 7-second swings in this game overall. Since he got the Holy Water drop in stage 2, Cronin's going to go with the axe, while Xytoriak goes for the bat crit. And Cronin picked up the double shot multiplier before the bat came down, so he's going to have a very interesting bat fight. But he's got enough
unpredictable bat pattern, yeah. Alright, both wrap up around the same time.
However, Xytoriak does have an advantage going into level 2. He has the stopwatch, which will allow him to save roughly about a second and a half.
Yeah, that'll give Xytoriak the ability to stop the crushers with the stopwatch. Cronin will have to rely on timing his advance through a bit of a whip buffer strategy. Make sure he doesn't get hit by the crushers. Loses a little bit of time.
So both runners going straight over that bat. I can tell you it's not fun getting hit by that one.
Oh, yeah. Wow, they are very much in sync right now. This is pretty incredible.
So Xytoriak's going to farm until he gets to 6 hearts. Most likely he'll take the guaranteed 5 big heart at the bottom. Cronin just needs 5 hearts, and if he's going to go with the dagger strats for the Holy Water grab. Both going for the whip buffer to set up the Medusa head boost here in stage 5. Very free strat. As long as you hold right while hitting the whip, you should set up a pretty easy boost overall.
Very safe way to execute that.
So this is where Xytoriak's going to pick up some time here. The stopwatch frees the crushers, and Cronin has to wait until the crushers line up to a specific point before he can walk through.
There you can see him just pull ahead just slightly.
So both players will have Holy Water going into the Medusa fight, and their double shot in order to do the stun lock kill of the giant Medusa head. So both runners going for the 3-whip strat on Medusa. Xytoriak a little bit more consistent with his whip rhythm.
Thanks for the follow.
And then both runners should be heading into level 3.
Trying to focus for the race.
Alright.
And apparently Xytoriak forgot to turn his mic off.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch on over to Cronin's audio and see what we got.
Yeah. But yeah, the music's they're almost synced up in terms of music when you switched over, so. Looks like they're going for the classic Fleeman boost as opposed to the turnaround quicker Fleeman boost that saves roughly a quarter of a second, but easier to do that. Xytoriak takes the frame minute by intentionally clunking, taking a hard fall there.
Yeah, Croonin gets knocked by a bat there. Bird, sorry.
Yep. So Xytoriak has a short lead. I'm not sure which item they are in the counter. Xytoriak should be on the second item, so he's on potion. Croonin might be on the third or fourth item. We'll see if either goes for the potion manip that makes this upcoming screen very easy to navigate as opposed to dealing with bone pillars.
Don't remember seeing a bag drop in Croonin's.
So Xytoriak does get the potion. Croonin gets the heart frame as opposed to the drop frame. Would have been a money bag or a rosary.
Mm-hmm.
So, also a double plus for Xytoriak picking up the potion drop in stage 8 is it will take 4 drops in order for him to pick up an axe in the next level. And that's pretty much with how tight this race could end up being, that could be a death sentence for whoever gets it.
Absolutely.
Both runners opting for the Ouija bridge strat, and looks like they'll both get the Ouija bridge manip.
Very safe, consistent strat. Very good for races. Both pick up the double, and they're moving into the mummy fight.
Yep. Also pretty good if you're going for PB attempts as well. So both get the optimal pattern with the Ouija bridge. Which, if you do correctly, by setting up to the right-hand side, you get a fast mummy pattern. And while the mummies overlap, they're going to throw crosses in order to damage them on alternating frames, and it creates a pretty quick kill overall to an otherwise very intimidating boss. So Xytoriak has a very slim lead entering level 4, so it's going to come down to, it could come down to cave skip for who has the better position going into Dracula. So Xytoriak misses the window. Both runners actually miss the initial window, but go for the pause buffer. Croonin's able to pause buffer the high bat pattern. Xytoriak's going to have to take the Raft of Shame.
And that's going to be a big pull ahead for Croonin right there.
Yep. 6 seconds for the cave skip, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah, these two are really just shifting back and forth the lead. This is turning out to be pretty exciting.
And for those watching, just because Croonin has cave skip, he's still got to finish the run. So he's going to enter Fleeman Alley here. The goal is to try and get through here without many drops. He's getting all the hard drops from the Fleeman. And there's his potion drop. He's got to be careful. The next drop is an axe.
He's opting not to kill that Fleeman there. That's actually a pretty smart choice.
Yep. Understanding he has iframes with the potion, and he can always hit the Bone Dragon for his double shot multiplier. Croonin goes for the 8-frame pause buffer on the Bone Dragon to manipulate a good pattern. I believe Xytoriak went for it as well.
Yes, he did.
That's my one contribution to the current world record. So now they're both entering the Frankenstein Igor fight. Let's see if Croonin's not going for the crit. It looked like he was for a second there.
Croonin trying to dump some extra holy waters off screen there to keep from losing too much time from these extra hearts.
It's going to lose roughly about a second for the countdown of these hearts, so that allows Xytoriak to close in a little bit. But Croonin's got a pretty comfortable lead going into level 5. And when I say comfortable, I mean about 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm. A lot can happen in this level, though.
Croonin going for the whip strat on the skeletons. Takes care of the first Richard. And the pretty clean first screen overall. Xytoriak going for the classic boost on the Fleeman. So let's see what bone patterns they get. Croonin goes for the alternate slow bone strat. Xytoriak gets a slow bone. Croonin did get the task skeleton pattern, but opted to go for the safer boost there. Don't blame him for that.
Alright, I believe both runners will probably go for the safety meat coming up here.
Yep. Croonin gets the meat. Xytoriak has closed to about a couple seconds behind him, so it's close again. Well, Croonin does have the better PBs. Xytoriak has a little bit more race experience of late. He was in the Castlevania knockout tournament that was on Halloween. I believe he made it to round 2 before getting eliminated. He's also done a 15 and 25 times Castlevania race, and that means 15 and 25 consecutive runs of Castlevania, no breaks. Actually, no, I think 25, not 15.
Xytoriak took part in the 25, that's correct.
Like I said, Cronin has a very small lead over Xytoriak entering stage 15. Both have about roughly the same health and the same heart count. So one of the greater equalizers in this game is probably death, not as much as Dracula, but if you screw up death, there's definitely a problem.
Oh yeah,
Looks like
if you die at
Xytoriak
this
is
point, you are having to go for backup strats that can cost you a minute, sometimes 2 minutes, depending on how they go.
Yeah. Looks like Cronin got hit by the... Both runners got hit by the
death there.
That's gonna create a problem for him. He's gonna need to get a backup kill, either whip only or stopwatch. I mean, not stopwatch. Magic.
Yeah, gonna grab a cross right here.
Yeah.
It is still a
Stopwatch
very
is
risky backup.
Cronin going for the 7 water death kill, which he gets cleanly. So far, it's been a pretty good, clean race from Cronin. No major mistakes going in
Very clean
through level 5.
Kruna moves on to level 6. We're going to see if Xytoriak can get past death with the cross. First, he has to go through Death's hallway.
The real challenge is actually the hallway. And building up your triple shot manip. Give yourself the most number of crosses you can throw on screen. Well, it looks like it's just going kind of one cross and whip only strats to get to the end of the hallway. So he'll have... Oh, he picked up a stopwatch up, I think, from one of the Axe
Oh
Knights.
no, you got a frame drop there.
So he's got to go whip only because the stopwatch will not work on death. So he's in a pretty compromising position right here. Let's see if he can... He's going to have to whip the Scythe away. And, unfortunately for him, whipping death is the specialty of his opponent, not his. So it looks like he's in pretty bad shape here, and he takes another death to death. Cronin picks up the safety meat in the clock tower. He's got 5 hearts going into the final set. Well, maybe 10. He picks up that last big heart.
Yeah, he'll likely try to grab this heart at the top of the stairs here. Easy grab for him.
Now he's on to Dracula. Cronin is on sub 12 pace if he can 3-cycle Dracula. 5-cycle would probably put him at a low 12 overall. If we're talking about real time, the timing rules for Castlevania 1 in the speedrun leaderboard. It's obviously a different time than.
Oh, he's going for a 2-cycle.
And he got the backwards jump, and he gets the 2-cycle.
2-cycle.
And he'll have the triple shot, so he'll be able to machine gun Cookie Monster. It won't be a PB, but it'll be something for him to talk about later. Fortunately, let Cookie Monster break stun lock. Cronin's just showing off the backwards jumps that he nails in low percent. So Cronin takes the match with an 11:57 RTA timing. Very good showing overall.
Very good run from Cronin.
Meanwhile, Xytoriak is having a pretty good death fight right now. He's got one more hit to land. Just has to dodge his dice.
Alright, Xytoriak is through death, moving on to level 6 now.
So he's only about 2 minutes behind, assuming it's a clean Drac stage. So I don't know if he's looked at the race room yet to see if Cronin has won or not. Be interesting to see how he plays this level out. So anyways, Xytoriak is through the bat bridge. That last bat, Dave tried to troll him a little bit, but fortunately Xytoriak hit the screen transition before the bat could close in. So now he's in the clock tower. See if he can get through there, and if he takes the meat or not. Oh, he's gonna skip it. Either a case of he knows that his opponent's already won, or he probably a case he either knows or he suspects his opponent's already won at this point.
Looking to save any time that he can.
Yeah. So now he's entering Dracula. He'll have... Let's see, we'll count. One more back. He'll have 16 hearts going into Drax, so... we'll see how well he does. Xytoriak's PB does have a 3-cycle Drac fight, I believe. So he does get the slow pattern. He's gonna set up the 3-cycle crit. Just misses it. Just a little bit late on that crit. He couldn't have been more than 2 frames off there.
Oh.
I'd remind you that these crits are frame perfect. You have roughly 1/60th of a second to hit that input.
Unfortunately,
Oh, no.
taking a death to Dracula.
So now he'll have to settle up again and get his long whip and at least another set of hearts. See if he'll reset the room. By leaving the screen and coming back, it resets the frame counter of the room, and that governs Dracula's pattern in the fight. So as long as he doesn't lose frames, he should have a mostly predictable Dracula fight pattern. And knowing is half the battle with this battle. Knowing's half the battle when it comes to fighting Dracula. So he gets a fast first spawn this time. Goes for the 3-cycle crit just a little bit early on that one. So he should settle for a 5-cycle here.
An early 5-cycle at that too.
Yeah.
He's able to get the extra hit.
So now he's onto the Cookie Monster. He's got plenty of hearts. Cookie giving him a slow jump. But he's got him stun locked, so just machine gun him down with the whip and the holy water. Of course, the machine gun strat was famously coined by Summoning Salt while talking about a world record progression for this game not too long ago. So Xytoriak finishes with a 15-21. So we'll be moving on to round 2. So Cronin's got the advantage going into the second race. So what do you think he's going to do in the second round?
I think he's going to keep it safe, honestly. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't.
Yeah. Put the pressure on his opponent to
Absolutely.
Execute a sub-12, basically.
It's his race to win.
Although I do say, hitting that 2-cycle at the end, I don't think he's ever hit a 2-cycle in a run.
I don't know. I know he's been practicing it. I was
We'll
wondering
definitely
if
ask
he
him
over
later.
or not.
I know he's been going for it because I've seen him do backwards jumps in low percent, and I kept telling him, if you can do a backwards jump for a mummy fight in level 3, 2 cycles easy. And of course now validated for it. See if
We're getting set up for
the
the
next
next
race room
race
is being
here.
set up. So it looks like they're going to be starting the next race not too long from now. Like I said, Xytoriak's probably going to be doing a little bit of pressure to take some risks here, seeing that Cronin got 1157 RTA, which probably from the race timer was about 1206, 1207, depends. Given the number of, given the difference between the intro starting.
Yeah.
So it looks like the second race is about to start. Once again, both runners will be using control timing, which is different than the race timer. The race timer is going to have an initial 9.5 seconds listed on the official time thing. So Cronin's up 1-0. The winner has the advantage for taking second place at worst. Going into the bracket stage, the top 8 players, top 2 in each bracket, will advance. Overall, and both runners still have to face SPD Wolf later in this group stage. Like I said, so the winner of this match will have an advantage towards. Won't have to beat SPD Wolf in order to advance. So it looks like both runners going without the stopwatch in stage 1, so they'll rely on the backup manip on the bat in order to get their stopwatch. It looks like Cronin's got the pixel. Xytoriak looking for it. He does not get it.
He's gonna have to go with Axtrats.
Yep, he's gonna have to go with Axtrats. Both runners crushing the bat boost. Something I didn't do in SGDQ 2019. So now both runners with the Cronin with the stopwatch will go for the back crit. We'll see if Xytoriak goes for Axtrats. He skipped the act. No, now he has it. So he'll need at least 8 hearts in order to take on the bat, just in case it doesn't get the fast swoop. Cronin misses the bat crit, but he's got stun locked. He'll do the extra damage that way. Xytoriak finished off the bat with the axe. So it's kind of like a role reversal. In the first round, Cronin had the axe, and Xytoriak had the stopwatch.
That is very true. Cronin getting a little bit of a lead here, though. Able to whip down that bat a little bit cleaner.
Yeah. And I believe Xytoriak had a slightly slow axe bat fight because he got a fast swoop in the bat. So he's just gonna... I don't know how much practice he is on the axe strat for stage 4, so he just whips the bat in the the Spear Knight, just to be safe there. So in Cronin's case, he's going to farm to at least 6 hearts, 5 for the stopwatch activation, the Crusher Room, and another heart so he can build up a double shot multiplier with the Holy Water sub-weapon.
And in Xytoriak's case, he's actually looking to burn some of those hearts. He has way too many at this point.
With the axe, he only needs a minimum of 4 hearts to advance, so he'll have to resort to the whip strat for picking up the Holy Water.
Unfortunate death from Xytoriak.
Yeah, very unfortunate death there. It's not too punishing, though. It only costs him about 20 seconds.
Yeah, not too much of a time loss.
Cronin getting the stopwatch and the boost off the bat. The double shot does come down, but he should still get a double shot multiplier from the next candle because of the Holy Water doing damage on every frame.
Ticks enough for that double.
So he should have a double shot. He just needs 3 hearts to deal with the Medusa boss at the end of the stage, so... gonna go for that. He's got her stun locked and a pretty solid Medusa fight right there by Cronin.
Meanwhile, Xytoriak gets through the Crushers with no issues. Moving on to the Medusa boss hallway.
Already got his double shot, so... he's just gonna leave the candles alone here before he takes down Medusa. So now Cronin is starting level 3. Like I said, level 3, this is the level you need to know where your drop tables are at. Cronin did get the stopwatch. I don't know if he got a drop.
There's his potion right there.
You can see the look on his face. It's like, wrong screen game. And the pause
glitch.
Sorry, pause glitch. Yeah. So he took a double whammy on that screen. Fortunately for Cronin, he's got a pretty sizable lead entering level 3.
On one hand, seeing that potion right there is bad news for the potion manip, but it also means he does not have to worry about the axe in level 4, at least right now.
Well, it depends on how many drops he... if he manipulates 2 drops, he could actually be on the God Cycle Bridge, and of course the God Cycle Bridge is quite the sight to behold when you get it right. You can also opt to just not force any drops, knowing that he's 4 drops away from an axe, and try and give himself the best chance of not picking one up. But he does manipulate the 3rd item in the counter in level 3. He does get a money bag. And there's the rosary, so... God Bridge is on the table.
He is on item.
Although I don't know if he's actually done that strat or not.
I don't know if it's practice, no.
He's thinking about it. And the answer is no. He's opting against it. Opting to go for the Ouija Bridge. See what pattern he gets from the bird.
Good
so
sweep.
He should set up right, because he got the fast pattern from the bird. Xytoriak is about a full screen behind him. So that Medusa head dropped a double shot.
Clunk, he's gonna have to set up left.
Yep. Clunk there. Unfortunately so. He was able to manipulate the fast pattern anyway. That's something to file away for later. So Cronin's got a pretty sizable lead exiting level 3, of course, and he's drop table. He's on item. He's actually gone through a full set of items, so he's now 2 drops away from that dreaded axe drop.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Xytoriak had a pretty clean Ouija Bridge, so he'd be sitting up on the right.
Yep. Looks like he altered his approach on the Ouija Bridge, or if that, I don't know if that's his actual setup, because definitely didn't do the mummy manip, but he did get the manip the fast pattern. Cronin gets the... I think that was the... Actually, I think that was a boostable frame pattern. I'm not sure.
Looked a little high on the candle, but pause buffers and unfortunately does not get the cave skip.
Went for the double pause buffer and just didn't line up for him. That gives Xytoriak 7 seconds to try and catch up on Cronin here. Try and make this race interesting. Cronin waiting for that bat to clear.
Looks good for Xytoriak.
Yep. Perfect cave skip right there for Xytoriak. So now Cronin is in Fleeman Alley.
Oh, there's his
And he gets the potion drop, so he's probably on DEFCON run right now. And now, Chaos is broken loose on the screen, so he's going to be watching to see if there's any birds of Fleeman behind him. Fortunately, it did not spawn behind him, so all he's going to lose is time.
Right. That is going to give a little time for Xytoriak to catch up, though.
Yep. Looks like he's murdering through this screen pretty easily.
Yeah, very clean Fleeman Alley for Xytoriak.
Yep. So Cronin now entering Frankenstein monster fight. Gonna do his standard Frankenstein's monster kill. It almost looks identical to the same setup as the crit where he did the 2 whips at the beginning, but obviously he didn't move forward. That's kind of the big giveaway. So Xytoriak will take on Frankenstein's monster here. I don't think he'll go for the crit. Knowing how far he's probably thinking he's very far behind.
Yeah.
At this point.
Crit is a potential time save, but a risk as it can lose a decent amount of time if you fail it.
He's closed the gap to probably about 15 seconds, so all it takes is one sloppy fight on Drac. In Castlevania, Dracula is the greatest equalizer in a Castlevania 1 race, and probably the hardest thing to execute. Cronin taking the alternate slow bone pattern. That was the fastest pattern he was presented with there. So let's see if he goes for the safety meat or not.
We're watching Xytoriak see if he gets a fast bone here.
Gonna go for the meat. Xytoriak gets the fast bone as well. That's a strat that always seems to happen when you're on a dead run. Skeleton always gives you good patterns on dead runs. Alright?
Consolation prizes when they're available for sure.
Alright, I believe Xytoriak's also gonna pick up the meat there.
Yeah, smart choice. Does not want to have happened what happened last race.
You saw in the last race that a death in stage 15 is very punishing. Cronin gets a potion drop. It's pretty inconsequential. Once you get to level 4, the runners don't really pay too much attention to their drop tables. Because drops aren't as predictable. Because they're not being manipulated like they are in levels 1 and 3.
That's true. There are 2 items to look out for, a dagger and a stopwatch that can drop and make you lose that holy water. You do have to still want to look out to jump over enemies when you can.
Yeah. Let's see. Cronin will probably go for the statue skip again. He nails it. Now should give him extra health in case the death fight does go sideways. But for the most part, Cronin gets the takeout. Yeah. We saw 2 Snack yesterday in a similar situation where getting that statue skip ended up saving his bacon against death. Especially with Cantaloupe me right behind, running right on him.
Oh, Xytoriak attempts it, but was just a little too low, misses the frames, and takes the damage.
Cronin's gonna go for the 6-water death kill again.
Very safe death fight. Very good.
Yeah, Cronin is in the driver's seat for this match, entering level 6. Xytoriak is probably about, like I said, about 15 seconds behind. See how his death fight goes.
Agent Wyvern, I believe that's a 4-frame window for that skip.
He's gonna go for the 6-water jump into death strat there. It's a pretty good race strat overall. It has it doesn't require any sort of whip rhythm in order to complete. You got plenty of frames to get 3 whip hits in. The Cronin's gonna use stopwatch, the holy water to grab the stopwatch without losing frames. It's important on this screen to not lose frames because then the bat patterns become unpredictable. That bat is trying, but Cronin has seen that pattern plenty of times, so no big deal to him. A lot of
straight fireballs from those bats.
Dave's trying. Xytoriak also pick up the stopwatch with the holy water method, as I mentioned.
Small little bone parter for Cronin.
So Cronin's gonna go for safety meat. Gonna try and win with consistency. It's not a bad idea.
I think it's
I've
a good
seen it
choice.
happen before.
Little
bit of
snafu
at the stairs, but no stair boss.
Big bone party for Xytoriak.
Entering Dracula roughly at the same time as last run. So you can remark that consistency. 11-10 on both runs on the Dracula screen.
A lot of health for both, but a lot of things can happen in the Dracula fight.
Yep.
Death here for Krunen would definitely mean potentially mean a win
a
for
lost
Xytoriak.
multiplier. Well,
That's true.
A lost multiplier can swing this around.
That's
The
very
Krunen's gonna
true.
go for the 2-cycle again. So Krunen misses the backwards jump, but he threw the cross low enough that he doesn't jeopardize that triple shot holy water.
That is fortunate.
So Dracula's given the fast pattern, fast third cycle, so... He's just gonna use the holy water to ward off the fireballs while he does damage with the whip. So now Krunen is taking out Dracula, he's now on the Cookie Monster, he's got him stun locked. He's a little bit short and hard, so he's gonna have to go for a double whip strat, I believe. He's gonna have to watch that hard count. So he should be able to take out Drac here, so Krunen does take the match 2-0. A couple of really nice runs there. 12-13.
Right, as Xytoriak is getting on Cookie Monster and sealing his fight as well.
Yep.
That's a done deal. Very close race.
Yep. He recovered from a death to get a 12-24. That's kind of what set him back in this one. But he gave Krunen a pretty good race for the most part. It was just that one death that seemed to throw him aside.
Very true. A lot of consistency from Krunen. He got ahead, and then he did not give a lot of room for Xytoriak to catch up. A few mistakes here and there, like missing cave skip in that second run, gave Xytoriak a bit of a window, but unfortunately, a few mistakes prevented Xytoriak from catching up. But overall, very close race.
We'll see if both runners want to hop in for talking post-race interview. Here, so we'll have both Krunen and Xytoriak in here if we can. So stay tuned on that. So, as mentioned before, this is a pretty critical match in Group B because now Krunen doesn't have to beat SPD Wolf in order to advance to the bracket stage for this tournament. As I mentioned, the top 2 players in each group will advance to the bracket stage. Alright, we'll see if we can get both Krunen and Xytoriak in there. Whoops. Hold on for a second. So anyway, Chakra, what did you think about the race?
Really good performance from both of them. We saw a lot of back and forth in that first race. It really was anyone's to take up until level 5. As you said, the true equalizer.
See if I can. All right. So we'll see if both runners want to jump in for a post-race interview.
All right, looks like we have Krunen and Xytoriak here with us.
Yep, I'm here.
Fellas, great job.
Yep, pretty close race overall, especially going into level 4 in that first race.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, Xytoriak's is right on my tail the entire time.
Yeah, you ended up taking the lead on cave skip. You hit it, he didn't. And then after that point, you pretty much kept padding on. You kind of just slowly pulled away until Xytoriak took a death in level 5 in the first race.
Yeah, level 5 pretty much was a clinic of what can go wrong will go wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Even when I was coming up to death on the second fight, I was trying to farm for a double shot from my cross, and all of a sudden the Medusa head dropped a stopwatch on me.
Yeah. The true boss when you're going for the cross strat isn't death, it's the hallway. Getting that triple shot axe drop before getting that triple shot multiplier drop before death and having roughly about enough hearts to actually execute the fight. Although I think you did a pretty good job of killing death that third try.
Yeah, I felt a lot better about that one. I've learned to let the crosses do the work and just dodge the scythes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But Krunen, I gotta point out that 2-cycle though.
Oh my gosh. I was talking to Ava Capsta just yesterday, and he's like, you should just jump right away once you land. I'm like, all right, I'll try that. And I did get it once today in practice, and I was like, oh, oh, this just happened. Oh crud, I'm supposed to hold the B button. That's supposed to make Dracula go forward, right? And then obviously I botched it, and we had him in a standing position. But I was still like, wow, all right.
Yeah, I think to date you're the only person that's hit that trick in this tournament. So you got that one. You got that leg to stand on.
Heck yeah,
Absolutely.
GG's for that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So asking both of you, how do you feel about potentially racing against SPD Wolf in this tournament?
I honestly felt like whoever won between me and Cronin is going to be the one that goes on to the seeded bracket.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
with how I ran today, it's possible I could take a round off of him. It really depends on how Wolf is feeling tomorrow. I'd say that if he's on point with how he was running with like the 25Xs, I mean, it's gonna be an uphill battle. I know that I can do some more risky strats to try to catch up my time. Like I could skip meat here and there, but it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah. Well, fortunately for you, even if you don't have it beat SBU Wolf, you still got, at worst, you're gonna get to a tiebreaker round.
Yep.
As we saw what happened with Group D.
Yep. So yeah, I think I'm racing him on Thursday, SPD Wolf on Thursday, and I know for me it's just going to be a matter of like he's a much more consistently better runner than I am. I'm still fairly new, so as you can see, I still make some mistakes here and there. But I think for me, if I have any hopes of taking the match from him, it's going to be what mistakes he makes, and then me being able to capitalize on them.
Yeah, as someone who has actually done that, it has to play out exactly as you iterated. That's how I ended up beating him in the GG tournament last year. You just hope he makes a mistake. You just play well and hope he makes a mistake.
Yep.
So, any last thoughts you have on the race from either of you? Got plenty of time.
I just gotta say, GG's to Cronin. You wiped the floor with me, and you earned it.
No, Xytoriak, that was like you were neck and neck with me like the entire time. I was sweating. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, if you ever want to do any like exhibition rematches, let me know. I'll do it.
Oh man, I'm wondering how Xytoriak's gonna be 2 months from now. It'll be a much tougher race, I'm sure.
I actually had Two Snack. He's got a thing on his channel where if you redeem like 10,000 of the Twitch points, he'll review your PB and give you tips. So I had him review that 1154. I got in the 25X race that we did that one night, and he was giving me tips on how to get to 1140. So I've got that VOD saved, and I'm going to keep working at it.
Yeah, thank you for that. Those are actually some pretty good, just general tips that he gave out for everybody. So I had my notepad open, just taking down some notes when I was watching that. That was very good.
I had a similar session when I got 1140. All right, when I got 1140. I showed it to him.
Nice, and then he got you the tips to get down to the 11.3x.
Yeah,
nice.
There's a lot of small things in this game that you can optimize that saves a lot of time over the long haul.
Yeah, this game is pretty simple to pick up, pretty simple to learn the basic strats, but mastering it requires a lot of practice, a lot of effort.
Yep. You almost have to practice game on a daily basis to get warmed up on those things, basically.
Yeah, the rust builds up for real if you put it down for a weekend even.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for racing. Great performance from both of you. Thanks, Freeland, for commentating with me. And thanks, SGL, for hosting.
Yep. So, just a reminder, guys. Tomorrow, Cronin will be racing SPD Wolf, and then Xytoriak will be on 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. We'll see if that's restreamed on SpeedGaming or SpeedGaming 2. And Xytoriak will be racing SPD Wolf Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So you'll want to catch those matches because you'll either see those matches end, or we could have another Group D situation potentially.
Hey, tiebreakers are always exciting.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna close it out here and take you on to the next race overall. I don't know what's next on the timer though, but it should be a good race. So anyway, Chakra, any last thoughts on the race overall before we close it out?
I think it's all been said. Consistency is key, as shown here. Racing this game is very different from running for PBs, so sometimes that strat that may lose a little bit of time is worth it in the long run if it keeps you from losing seconds or minutes. So the more consistent you can get practicing those tricks, the better. And that's what we saw here, and I think that's what we're going to see through this tournament.
All right, for those watching at home, you'll want to check out Crunin and Xytoriak streams, twitch.tv/Crunin for Crunin. Make sure you have those 2 underscores at the end. And then, of course, Xytoriak as well. You also want to follow my co-commentator, Chakra Tees. Make sure you put an underscore between the chakra and the T's.
That's my slogan.
So anyway,
shout out to Freeland.
For all 3 of them and myself, this is Freeland 1787 as well. And have a good rest of your night. We'll see how tomorrow's tiebreaker race ends up going.